United States of America versus Mexico. The biggest rivalry in CONCACAF has been actually very one-sided for the past few years. The U.S. men's national team dominated Mexico from 2021 till this day. Now they meet once again, this time in the CONCACAF Nations League Final here in 2024. So will the United States continue its undefeated streak against Mexico, or will Mexico finally get the revenge that they've been seeking since 2021? Hi, if you're new here, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Tactical Manager TV, and welcome to the ultimate United States versus Mexico CONCACAF Nations League Final match preview, which is once again a very long and not so creative title, which reminds me of Greg Berhalter's system. For this episode, we're going to go through the past record of these two teams when they face each other, where to watch this match, the projected United States starting 11, and then we're going to bring a special guest to represent L3. And his name is Diego from DiegoFIFA on TikTok and Instagram to talk about L3, discuss how this game might play out, how the United States could win it, how Mexico could win it, and finally give our score predictions towards the end of the video, just to force you to watch this till the very end, which I'm sure you're able to watch it to the very end. You can endure. Now, listen, I'm no high-level, award-winning endurance athlete, but over the past 4 to 5 years, I have endured a lot. I mean, I've watched Berhalter ball for 4 to 5 years, and yet here I am, still covering the national team every camp, every week, almost every day. And all I ask in exchange is for you to kindly and actually humbly, I will request you to hit the like button right now. It's free and it's a great way to support the channel. I want to also thank everyone that supported us by joining our Patreon. Link is in the description. With that said, let's start the preview. The U.S. men's national team is set to face Mexico this Sunday, March 24th for the CONCACAF Nations League Final at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. Sorry, Arlington, Dallas, pretty much the same thing. Kickoff is scheduled to be at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and if you're in the United States, you may watch this match at Paramount Plus or Univision. I highly recommend Univision. If you're not in the United States, you might need to find one of those sketchy links that might give your computer AIDS, or just get Paramount Plus and use a VPN, which is probably what I would recommend in that case. You want to stay away from those, sketchy links that put a weird ads saying that, click here to make your PP grow, and then you click on it, it doesn't grow, and your computer stops working. That didn't happen to me, by the way. I know that was very descriptive, but that didn't happen to me. I promise. I swear. And of course, we're going to be doing a live watch along here at the channel so you can experience with me the agonizing pain of being a U.S. men's national team. We can suffer together, holding hands, looking each other right in the eyes. And that got a bit weird. With that said, Mexico defeated the United States 2 times back in 2019. But ever since, these teams have faced each other 6 times, with 4 American wins and 2 draws. The U.S. men's national team scored 10 goals across those 6 matches, while Mexico scored only 3. Throughout those matches, the U.S. men's national team actually defeated Mexico in the 2021 Nations League Final, the Gold Cup also in 2021, the final, World Cup qualifying, and most recently back in 2023, the United States had a very dominant, the most dominant victory I've ever seen from the United States against Mexico in the CONCACAF Nations League semifinals, where the United States defeated Mexico 3-0. Of course, at the time, Berhalter was not in charge, because why would he be in charge if we're getting a win like that? Dominating the opponent, essentially bullying the opponent out of the field. If he was there, it would have been a scrappy 1-0 win, maybe. I think we will win, and I hope we win this weekend. But again, that was the last time we defeated Mexico back in 2023 during the Nations League semifinals. So will Mexico get their revenge this Sunday? And the answer to that is, I don't know. We'll find out. The thing is, the U.S. men's national team has better players than Mexico currently, which wasn't the case in the past, right? If you go back 10, 20 years from now. However, L3 does not adapt their game plan, even though things have changed. They continue to try to outplay the U.S. men's national team as if, they're still the better team, as if they were still as good as their previous generations and the United States was as bad as the previous generations. And look, based on what I have from Berhalter's U.S. men's national team, if Mexico just swallowed their pride, played a low to mid block, just a more defensive approach, and tried to play in transition, I honestly think they would be the favorites to win it. Berhalter's team normally struggles against slow blocks, and we saw that against Jamaica once again, but we've seen that multiple times. If Mexico just tried to play that way and try to hit the United States in transition, they actually have a legit shot. Now, will they do it? No, it's not in their DNA, and they're absolutely not going to do it. They're going to try to outplay the United States, and that's where the danger lies for them. And that's why, even though I think this game is more or less 50-50 because it's a rivalry and Mexico is actually playing at home, they'll have the crowd to their advantage. But I think when they try to actually outplay the U.S., that's where the U.S. thrives. And that's why most of our best performances under the Berhalter era have actually been against Mexico, because it's essentially an inferior opponent, like an opponent that's worse than us, trying to outplay us. So before we bring on Diego to talk about El Tri, why don't we go through the projected starting 11 for the U.S. men's national team that Berhalter is expected to put out this Sunday. Now, understand, I'm just going to go with a basic 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it, because that's what I think Greg will do. He has teased us, and some players have teased us as well, on a possible back three. I don't think he's going to do that in the final, even though he did that in the CONCACAF Nations League 2021 final. He did put a back three in that game out of nowhere, but I don't think he'll do it on this specific occasion. I think we're going to go to 4-3-3. Maybe in the friendlies before the Copa America, we see Greg actually test the back three, but I don't think we're going to see it right now. So let's go to the projected starting 11. And it goes like this. Matt Turner on goal, Serginho Dest as a right back, and Anthony Robinson as a left back. The two center backs I think he's going to put for this game will be Miles Robinson and Tim Ream. Yes, I think he'll bench Richards for Ream on this one, not Miles Robinson. Richards played as a left center back in the last match, and Miles played as a right center back. Tim Ream is technically a left center back, and I do think Greg will start Ream this match. But again, this is me speculating. It could be Richards. Now, the central defensive midfielder will probably be Yunus Musa, even though he didn't play well. For some reason, Greg rarely, if ever, starts Johnny, even though I feel like he's earned a start at this point. And Tyler Adams, which would be the other guy to start, is on a minute restriction, so I doubt Greg will start Tyler while having to sub him out at halftime in a final. The other midfielders will be Weston McKennie and Gio Reyna. Yes, Gio Reyna should start after the performance he put out. Then the front three, I believe, will be Timothy Weah, Pulisic, and Balogun. Sure, Balogun struggled, so did Pepe. I think Balogun will continue to start. And Haji Wright might be knocking on that door after he scored a brace against Jamaica, but I don't think Greg will start Haji yet. I still think he's going to go with Tim Weah and Christian Pulisic, and in my opinion, that's probably what he should do anyway. Then I would normally give you my starting 11, but I honestly don't feel like it. I think the things I would change from the starting 11 I just gave you is I would put Johnny instead of Musa, and I would put Richards instead of Miles. Go with Richards and Ream. My main issue with Berhalter hasn't really been actually with his starting 11. It's been more with his stupid system, which in the last preview, the Jamaica one, I kind of broke down a little bit of his system and how I would want to see it play out. I'm not saying mine would work, but I put out an idea, and I'm not going to do it again because I don't feel like it. It was a different formation. Well, same formation, but with double tens, McKennie high up the field. The fullbacks wouldn't be providing the width. It would be the wingers. I'm not going to go through all of that once again because it doesn't really matter. He doesn't do it. He just keeps the same system that, is just pure soccer terrorism. With that said, drop a like before Diego shows up. I won't be requesting any more in this video, maybe at the end, but not right now. And let's bring our guest, Diego from DiegoFIFA, to talk about El Tri. Okay, Mexico versus the United States for the third consecutive time in the CONCACAF Nations League. One was a final, semifinals, now a final again. Diego, first and foremost, welcome to the channel. I'm gonna put you in a hostile environment right away. You're playing away today here.
Oh my gosh!
But
for sure.
Hey, I appreciate the fact that you took your time to come here and talk, because I know there's a lot we're going to agree and there's probably more that we're going to disagree. And we'll go through Mexico's game against Panama, that you got a 3-0 win. We're going to go through the projected starting 11, how you would approach it, and then we'll give our predictions at the end of how this game might go. So how you doing, man?
Bro, I've been good, bro. I'm a little happy from yesterday. I'm not going to lie. We qualified to the final, but hey, thank you for having me, bro. Honestly, I'm actually excited, bro. Genuinely.
So let's go through this here. Let's cut right to it, right? I'm
All
not
right,
going
let's
to talk
go.
much about
Let's
the
go.
US here. So let's go here.
Let's go.
Lineup that you guys put out yesterday. Memo Cho on goal, Julian Araujo on the right, Gallardo on the left, Johan Vasquez and Cesar Montes as the two center backs, the
Right.
midfield with Edson Alvarez, Chavez, and Eric Sanchez, and then up top, for some reason, Uriel Antuna is still there. Henry
Yeah.
Martin, which I guess it's a controversial one, and then Quinones that scored, I believe, his first goal for Mexico actually on this 3-0 victory against Panama that got you guys to the final. I want to ask you one thing first,
Right.
and I'll give you my opinion too. Did 3-0 actually represent what the game was, or do you think Panama actually made it tighter than it seemed based off the score?
Genuinely, bro, I don't think we should have won this game 3-0. I think it should have definitely been like maybe max 2-0, maybe the one, but like genuinely, like offensively, bro, we weren't there. Uriel Antuna is completely like the worst player on the pitch. He cannot cross. Like honestly, I'm gonna just go straight off the bat. I think our front three shouldn't even be starting. Like the
All
ones
three?
all three. Maybe Quinones is a 50-50, but Martin and Antuna, nah. But I will give this though, because I do watch the league. I do watch the Liga MX. Uriel Antuna hasn't had a bad season with Cruz Azul. He's actually he's having a good season, like a decent one. Like for Antuna, like he's having a good one. But should he be starting? Fuck no. Like, come on, let's be real. Like Antuna's literally one of the worst wingers we have.
Well, we'll go through your projected starting 11 in a couple minutes, and then you can give us the front three. Now we already know you wouldn't go with that one, but we'll know very soon. I'm assuming it involved probably Santi, Chucky Lozano. This is what I saw from the game yesterday. I thought Edson Alvarez was probably the best player for Mexico, in my opinion. Really good on the ball defensively. Almost had a goal early on with his header, and then he scored later on. I thought he was great. Ochoa, also very good. The thing that I thought about this game was I do feel like Mexico genuinely deserved the win. I thought they were the better team.
Yeah.
And it almost felt like it should have been maybe like a 3-2 or 4-2 win, or maybe a 4-1, 3-1. It felt like they deserved a goal. They could have gotten a goal. And Mexico was wasteful, dude. They could have gotten more goals. Mexico was wasteful.
Yeah, let me say, should have we scored more goals? 1,000%. Panama had a couple opportunities where, I mean, even Ochoa came in clutch. I mean, if you see the rating right there, Ochoa was actually decent last game. And again, I think Ochoa is still got it for now. For the next year, I think he still got it. But, you know, I think Panama had they had a good game, just no goals. And they had one, but it was offside, I think, or something like that.
The one thing that worries me a little bit is the United States barely scraped through a Jamaican side that was missing. They're essentially almost their entire starting 11, if we're being completely honest.
Right.
They had maybe like 2-3 players that were starters. Everyone else was a backup. Very important players that were missing. And the U.S. relied on luck, because we needed luck at the end to pull a draw. And then Gio Reyna with 2 moments of brilliance, finding Haji, and Haji getting the job done. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have gone through. And then this Jamaican side, to me, is far weaker than the Panamanian side that Mexico faced. And Mexico, sure, we talked about maybe 3-0 was a bit of a stretch. Maybe it shouldn't have been that much, maybe a 3-1 or so. But Mexico, rightfully so, went through. And I expected Mexico to go through in regular time. I just expected it to be a bit more difficult. That's what I expected. But they went through, even with a bit of a weird lineup. With some players here that I don't understand. Another player that I'm going to mention here too, I don't know what you think about it. Maybe we'll talk about him soon. At least I don't follow the Mexican team as much as you or any L3 fan, but I thought Luis Romo was a lock to start for this team, mainly because of the performances I've seen for the national team. Isn't he the guy that's really good at free kicks too?
No, so that's actually Luis Chavez, the one that
Chavez. Okay, so I am an idiot. He was there, Luis Chavez. That's what I was getting confused when I was watching the game. I was like, isn't Romo that guy he was really good in the World Cup? So it was Chavez that was good.
Yeah, it was Chavez. Chavez, I mean, you even saw it. He's the one that got the assist for Edson Alvarez, a banger left foot free kick. Like he plays in Russia, which is like crazy, but he's probably our best midfielder alongside Edson Alvarez. Like he just
left to Russia. He was in
he just left
like a season ago or
exactly.
two.
Yeah. He was like there's like stuff that happened. Like he wanted to leave. Like he had to pay his own release clause or something like that. Like it was crazy. But Luis Romo. You mentioned Luis Romo. He's actually the worst player, the worst midfielder we got. He's had a decent like last couple games, but like, bro, like he plays Edson Alvarez position, like and Luis Chavez position. Like, who are you really gonna put Luis Romo over Edson or
No, I
Chavez.
think I got them confused. Luis
No,
Chavez
oh,
and
okay, okay.
Romo. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
I was trying to figure out. I was like,
yeah,
who was that guy in the world? And I forgot because he played really well. And it's like, is he not the guy? But no, it was Luis
yeah,
Chavez.
yeah. It was
Uh,
Luis Chavez.
Before we move on to the next section, because I want to give you the record between these two teams. So the players you see on the field, would you,
Uh-huh.
besides Julian Araujo, because he's injured, so I believe he's out for Sunday, or at least he left injured. Is this the lineup we should expect to face the United States, more or less?
I'm gonna be for real. I think Jimmy would take out the same exact lineup. I think he would. Just because solely on the fact that we won 3-0. So he's like, "Oh, it worked." But it didn't really work like that. But I think if I'm Jimmy right now, I think he's gonna put the same lineup. Obviously,
Okay.
besides Julian Araujo, yeah, for sure.
Who's going for Julian Araujo?
The thing is, I don't even know if Jorge Sanchez, the guy that plays for Porto, could even play. Like, I don't even know if he was on the bench. Can you check that? Or like, no, I don't
I
think you
can
could.
check.
Or can you?
Bench, Kai
Yeah,
Rodriguez.
yeah. So
I don't
yeah,
see him.
so they're
I don't.
not. So yeah, so I don't think Jorge Sanchez is fit. I don't know what's the deal because I know Jimmy actually prefers Jorge Sanchez over Julian Araujo. So that's like the thing. Like I don't know who's gonna play there. I don't know if someone's gonna play like a different. Or rather, we're gonna.
Antuna.
No, 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 no. We cannot have Antuna right back. No, but I'm actually curious because like I don't think we could call up anyone no more because it's like I think we could only make changes to the squad before the semifinal. But I think when it's already leading to the final, I don't think if someone gets injured, I don't think we could call anyone in. I think it works like that. I saw the way Gibran Ararque on Twitter mentioned that today that we can't call up anyone. So
So we'll see what he'll do with that. But overall, the lineup will be probably the same one because I mean, he got the job done. So I'm going to ask you this thing right here. I
yeah,
have some stats on my screen that I'm going to read it to you.
okay,
United States versus Mexico. Okay, in their matchups, the United States won 24 matches. Mexico won 38 matches, and there were 16 draws. Clear advantage for Mexico right there. However, when we look into 2020 forward, right? So let's go
yeah,
2021, 2022, and 2023. 3-2 United States win in 2021 in the Nations League Final. Then we had United States and Mexico in the Gold Cup final where the U.S. had mostly a B team. 1-0. Miles Robinson scored that goal. World
right,
Cup qualifying, United States 2-0. I believe it was in Cincinnati that game. Then we went to the Azteca. That match was 0-0 in World Cup qualifying, but it kind of felt like the United States could have pulled a win there. That's how it felt.
yeah,
Then we
yeah,
had a
yeah,
1-1 draw in a friendly, which I think it was one of those like El
yeah, like
Clasico cash
yeah,
grab.
the cash one, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think in
Yeah.
Texas,
And then
right?
last year, without Berhalter, United States 3, Mexico 0, which that one was the most dominant American win I've ever seen against Mexico in my life. 3-0. Mexico got played out of the field. They even lost their temper, red cards. Easy win for the U.S., which was totally not expected.
Yeah,
How much does this impact this game? Because, again, for how long can Mexico deal with this? Because what happens with the American and L3 fan base right now is this. In the past, like ever since like the post-pandemic era, the U.S. goes, they spank Mexico, and then L3 fans get pissed and they just kind of admit it's like, oh, the U.S. is ahead of us. And then a few months go by, and then you guys start talking trash again out of nowhere. I don't know what
yeah,
happens. I don't know what gets to your mind. Just start talking trash, and it's happening again. Like
yeah.
they're thinking that. So my question to you is this: does this like how are DL3 fans seeing this game? Like, how do they feel about it? Because how many times are you going to have to lose until you're just like, okay, look, we're below it. Like, we can't beat them anymore. Something's going on.
Yeah.
And the second question to you is, are you more confident about this game than, let's say, the previous ones, which you guys didn't seem very confident?
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I have not seen Mexico beat USA since I was 16 years old. I'm 20. It's been 4 years. Like this on like we're on bullshit right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think this game, I mean, obviously USA has had, the last couple of years, and I'm not gonna lie, I think you guys have the upper hand. Like regarding like we have more wins overall. You guys have the upper hand. Let's be real. You guys have been like having this cycle for. I mean, how long have you guys had these similar players, like these young talent? Like we've had old people.
2020 beyond was when they started to come together. 2021 was when they really started to play together, but 2020 beyond, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and they were young back then. So like they only have gotten better and they started hitting their prime. Mexico has played with the same old people and they've gotten older and their prime is already way past. Like, word is not there. And then we have people that are going into their prime, like Santi, but he's not even a starter over someone that barely scores in Liga MX right now. So it's like, do I have faith? No. Do I want to win? Obviously. Do I think we're gonna win? I don't know. This is like it's really tough because like obviously I'm one of those people that talk shit all the time, no matter what. Even if we lose, right? Like tomorrow or Sunday, I'm gonna talk shit in a month from now. I don't care. I mean, and y'all do the same thing. Let's say Mexico starts beating, if Mexico starts winning 3 out of 3-0, like all these goals or all these games. I mean, let's be real, it's gonna be the same thing for y'all. Like it's just like the rivalry. We always want to be the best, so we're always gonna like back our country. But yeah, I think for this game, my faith in the team is very low just because of the lineup that we're gonna put out compared to USA. USA is gonna put, I think, all 11 European players. Like I think, right? Most likely,
maybe Miles will start from MLS, but that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 out of 11 players. Mexico will play with like 2 European players max when we have like 8. Like, I don't know.
Well, but again, let me ask you. I always believe the U.S. will win because I mean it's part of being a fan. You have to believe. If you don't believe,
Yeah,
just like what's the point?
yeah,
But I try to be as realistic as possible. You don't think the performance of the United States against Jamaica changes a little bit of your perspective? Because if the U.S. plays that way, Mexico is better than this Jamaican side.
yeah,
Probably if it was against Mexico, the U.S. would have lost. Obviously, there's much more that goes into these games, like playing style, physicality, how each team approaches, which I'm going to talk about in a second. What I think
yeah.
Mexico should do if they want to win this.
Mhm.
But again, that game doesn't really change how confident you can be. You're
I think
still pessimistic about it.
I'm gonna say yes and no because when y'all made that goal at the very end, y'all became a whole different team. Y'all scored 2 more goals, or wait, was it 3? Was it 3-1?
3-1. Yeah, I think Jamaica opened up that,
Yeah,
and they
that's
didn't bunker it in
that's
extra time. And I'm going to get to that in a second.
that's the thing though. Jamaica, the reason it was such it was a 1-0 game the whole time, bro. It was park the bus for 90 minutes, bro. Like USA cannot have their like play their game when they're getting parked the bus, like the whole
Mhm.
game. Like from minute 1, bro. Like Jamaica scored right away, and boom, Jamaica started parking the bus. So it's like, yeah, the performance wasn't good for the US until the 90th, 96th minute or whatever, and then extra time. But again, I don't know, man. Like USA has a very good team, and bro, everyone and all the time when it's Mexico USA, no matter what form, like everyone always just turns up compared to other games, compared to other games, like the
Especially
rivalry's
Pulisic.
there.
Especially Pulisic.
Exactly. Like it's a whole different game. It's a whole different mindset. They're like, how are we gonna lose to Mexico? How are we gonna lose to US? Like that they don't want that to happen. So they like the mentality is like completely different compared to other games.
So let's go through this then very quickly just to wrap things up. The lineup that we showed earlier, you would change the front three pretty much. And my
Yeah.
question to you is, what would be your front three?
Okay. So the front 3, I mean, it's easy. I would put Santi Jimenez,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna keep one just because he actually had a decent game and he scored. I'm keeping Quinones,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just putting Chucky on the right, even though Chucky is super selfish, and I think he's one of like when he's super selfish, like he was yesterday. I don't know if you saw the game.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually our worst
He's
forward because
wasteful too.
he's
Wasteful.
super wasteful. He doesn't do anything for the team. He wants to do everything for himself, and it's just not right it's just not right. But would I still have him starting over on Tuna because he could cross? Chuka could actually cross. So yeah, I think that's where we might line up: Quinones, Santi, and Chucky Lozano.
Yeah, what's interesting about Santi is I think he's a really good player, and I also think he should be starting for Mexico. I think he's the best option. I also think he's probably one of the most overrated players in CONCACAF right now.
Yeah,
I do have some question marks in regard to could he perform in a tougher league. I think the Eredivisie has lately provided a lot of fantastic players and a lot of big flops. It's pretty much a hit or miss. Like Luke De Jong from PSV is probably the best center forward in the Eredivisie right now, even ahead of Santi.
yeah,
And he flopped in every single top 5 league he went to. And he went to the Bundesliga. He went to La Liga, I think twice.
Mhm.
Never. So that's the one thing. Once Santi makes a move, which I'm pretty sure he'll get one this summer, he
Yeah.
should. Then I'll concede if he performs. Not even. I don't expect him to get to a top 5 league and just drop 20 goals. I'm just saying if he's playing well, getting 10 to 15 goals in the first season, starting, I'll just say, okay, this is actually a legitimate player, and then you have time to develop. Until then, I just think it's tough because he's also not starting for Mexico, which makes me wonder if it's a moronic coaching decision or hey, maybe we're all overrating this guy a little bit. Who knows? Even though the option is Henry Martin. So, but it is the second coach that doesn't play him, right? Because Tata didn't even bring him to the World Cup, actually.
Yeah, he didn't bring him, but we all know with Tata that he. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the recent
No,
stuff, but
don't start that. Don't say he was sabotaging on purpose. Don't do that.
no way you don't believe that, bro.
No, I don't
How?
believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe he was sabotaging on purpose. I believe he did
Okay,
do stupid decisions, but again,
okay.
and we're getting
Let,
off topic. We're getting off topic on
yeah,
that.
we are, because I could dig deep right now.
No, no, no. Maybe
Yeah,
that's for a
yeah,
separate video. That's for a separate video. This one's up for
yeah.
you. Let's just wrap things up on one thing.
Okay.
How do you not even how, just quick take your score prediction and how do you think Mexico could win this? And then I'll give you my take quickly.
Okay. I know I said I had no faith, but I always had that little faith in me. So I'm actually gonna go. I'm not sure if it goes to extra time or not, but I think this game, if it is, I think the game will, or if not penalties, I think it's gonna be a 2-2 game, and we're gonna go with penalties. That's what I
Mexico wins
think,
on penalty
and
kicks.
Mexico wins.
Okay, here's the thing. I hate predicting these games because even if I think Mexico will win, and I think out of all the games we played
Mhm.
in the past few years, this is the one that I'm the least confident on the United States. In the past, I've trash talked so much because I'm like, we're not losing this.
Yeah.
And this time, I do think it's 50-50. I think it's 50-50. I agree with you. We have better players, but
Mhm.
our whole is never greater than the sum of our parts. It's usually the opposite. So
Yeah.
I am going to go that the United States will win. I think just because of individual talent. I think Greg will start Gio Reyna. I think Pulisic loves to step up against Mexico, and that's a pretty big deal for the U.S. when Pulisic plays well.
Yeah.
Rarely the U.S. loses in that sense. So I'm going to say United States 2-1 win in regular time. But
Regular time.
this is definitely the game that I'm the least confident about in terms of U.S. I'm putting 50-50. But I'm going with that prediction 2-1 because I hate it. I can't go here and say Mexico is going to win. I can't say it, man. Like, not because
Yeah.
of the audience. Just I can't convince myself to believe that.
Yeah.
So I'm putting U.S. 2-1 win. I think Mexico's best bet on winning, which they won't do, and I told you this outside of it, is
Yeah.
Mexico. By won't do, I mean they won't take this approach.
Yeah.
Mexico, if they bunker, play a low block, the U.S.
Mhm.
will struggle to create, will struggle to score because they struggle
Yeah.
against every single low block under Berhalter, and they play in
Uh-huh.
transition. Mexico has more quality than Jamaica, for example, to punish the United States. So I think if Mexico just bunkered and played in transition, I think they would win. I honestly believe they would win. But I know Mexico well enough by now. They don't they
Yeah.
won't change their playing style. They'll play a high line. They'll try to be dom. They'll try to be the team that takes they'll try to do it. And I think that's what might come back to bite Mexico once again. Until they come to that realization, it's like, hey, maybe we should change the approach against the US right now to pull a win. I don't think it'll happen. But everyone, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much, Diego, for coming along. Go
Of
follow
course.
him on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever you want.
Yeah.
And that's all. Drop a like in the video. Thanks for watching, everyone. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like before you go. Thank you, everyone that joined our Patreon once again. And I'll see you guys on Sunday at the live watch along. We'll go live 1 hour before the game to do the pregame, and then we'll do live watch along and much more. It'll be lots of fun. And hopefully the United States wins. And let me know your predictions in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.